painted a more perfect picture out on the beach, but it was beautiful here at the Big A. Torrey Hunter celebrating his 35th birthday on Photo Day. One of the season seat holders enjoying Photo Day as we get ready for the fourth and final game between the Mariners and the Angels. Hi, everyone. From inside the Big A, Victor Rojas along with Mark Gubza. Glad you could join us for Angels baseball once again. And it's been a terrific start to the second half. After the All-Star break, the Angels have won the first three against the Seattle Mariners, and they've played extremely well against the M's all season long.
Well, and this is the team they anticipate competing with in this division coming into this season, but the reality is the Angels have owned the Mariners throughout this season so far. They've won 8 straight games against them, which they've swung the bat much better than, averaging over 4 runs a game per. And, of course, the big thing for me has been the bullpen relief for the Angels compared to the Mariners. Coming into the season, you thought the Mariners had that advantage over them in the bullpen. A lot of power arms. That has not been the case. It's certainly been the case for the Angels against the Mariners out of the bullpen, an ERA under 1.
Well, last night, again, 10 hits for the ball club. First time this year that the Angels have had 10 or more hits in 3 consecutive ball games. And a lot of it had to do with the bottom part of the order. 5 through 9 last night certainly stepped up.
Boy, we talked about the table setters the night before, and of course last night it was the bottom part of that lineup. 9 hits, 7 runs scored out of the botting part. Mike Napoli setting the tone. He had a flare for a base hit earlier, but then this time Drew went out to center field. Kevin Francis continues to come through. Reggie Wills, who had an opportunity to play, had a couple base hits and a couple RBIs. But the big guy, the guy we've been counting on and hoping to come through, eventually Juan Rivera hits that home run and wins the game. All those RBIs, all those good swings at the bottom part of the order gives that consistent 1 through 9 lineup for Mike Scioscia.
Well, this afternoon, Mike Scioscia handing the baseball off to the young Irvin Santana, who'll be towing the slab against the California native Jason Vargas. Angels going for the sweep of the Mariners. Sit back and relax. We've got the lineups and first pitch when we return. Right now, get Jack's Big Chicken Sandwich Combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. By your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. And by Time Warner Cable. Get digital cable TV with no fee HD from Time Warner Cable. Call 888-TW-CABLE.
A lot of surfers in the water. Sure, that's easy. Come over here to the Big A and surf the rocks. Show me what you got and what you're made of.
Boy, that would show me something right there.
Absolutely. Gorgeous day for baseball here. The fourth and final game between the Mariners and the Angels. And Don Wakamatsu, the skipper of the Mariners, runs out this lineup. M's coming to this one 35-56, 17 games back in the West. You've got Ichiro, Figgins, Gutierrez, Lopez, and Bradley, the same five at the top of the order as we saw last night. Justin Smoke in the lineup once again. He's getting red hot for the Mariners. Ryan Langerhans, second consecutive start in left field. Ron Johnson back behind the plate. And Josh Wilson seeing action for the first time at shortstop in place of Jack Wilson. That lineup will be facing Irvin Santana as we take a look at our Lexus starting pitcher.
Well, Irvin Santana, 8-7 mark. Very good ERA, 3.76. Coming off a great game last time. Even though he lost, only allowed 3 hits and 1 run against the Chicago White Sox. 7-4 in his career against the M's with an ERA just over 4. All about pace and tempo for Irvin Santana. Velocity on the fastball, completely back this season. Slider, electric. Changeup, very good, and an occasional curveball.
It's been a long while since Irvin last pitched, back on July the 8th against the White Sox, and threw the ball exceptionally well. 8 innings, 1 earned run on 3 hits as he delivers a fastball inside for ball 1. Unfortunately for Irvin, he took the loss. That was against John Danks, the 1-0 loss before the Angels headed off to Oakland. Ichiro swinging on that 1-0 pitch and driving one out to left center field. Torrey, a little bit of a late break on it, but dropped it down into birthday speed and makes the catch.
You can see that smile. Granted, the baseball flies exceptionally well in the day here at the Big A.
Take a look at the Jeep Angels defense. Matsui in left, Hunter in center, Rivera in right. You've got Franzen, Ivar, Kendrick, and Napoli around the infield with Jeff Mathis doing the catching.
And Hideki Matsui getting the start out in the left field today. Done a nice job. Mike Socha hasn't used him a ton in the outfield, but when he has played, he's done a pretty good job. 15 start. No ease so far this season for him. Showing some decent range and getting that baseball into the cutoff man.
First pitch to Figgins, missing high. Shot 0 for 4 yesterday. His average at 230. 22 RBIs. Rolled into a double play to third inning, his 11th this year. Setting a career high for him. Mariners have only played 92 games. And their struggles continue. Just a 2-12 month in July for Don Wakamatsu and his crew. One pitch on the inside corner, 1-0. And especially when you take a performance last night for Seattle, you got to give them credit for being down 6-1. All of a sudden, the offense comes to life. Justin Smoke starts to swing the bat, tie the ball game up, but just not enough to put him over the edge.
It definitely is a good sign that they were able to do so, but the reality is when you're struggling like they are offensively and you get a chance to tie the game and have an opportunity to beat a team that it certainly is going to be in the race all the way to the end and fail to do so again and lose your 8th straight game against it, it's definitely demoralizing for them.
2-2 pitch to Figgins is outside. Full count. Kevin Jepson, who gave up the tying home run to Josh Bart in the 7th inning, picked up the victory in relief. Brian Fuentes notched his 18th save. Payoff pitch. Figgins taps it foul. Boy, you just could not ask for a more perfect day for baseball here. Another warm afternoon, but not quite as warm as the last couple of days here. The Southland is Figgins goes down swinging. There's out number 2.
Well, that was a pretty good combination. A slow curveball, and then it came right back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. But the key for that pitch, not necessarily velocity, you can see that late action, how it ran away from the bat of Sean Figgins. Perfect spot for Santana. But you can have velocity on the fastball, but it's all about that movement. Talked about Roland Smith yesterday. His fastball, not necessarily overpowering, but it was a straight fastball. That's why that changeup was needed for him to be successful. Now, Urban has that life on the fastball here.
It falls behind on Gutierrez at 1 ball, no strikes. Mariners center fielder had a hit last night. It was a double, 1 for 4 overall. .259 batting average, 8 home runs, 36 driven home. That one missing down and away. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Urban with okay numbers against Seattle throughout his career. 7-4 mark, a 4.19 ERA. The third time he's faced him this year as Gutierrez takes a breaking pitch for strikes, 2-1. Urban took the loss back on May 9th.
Next one will show that's a great ability if you're a pitcher to be able to snap a slider off when you're behind the count 2-0 and throw it for a strike.
The other start for Santana, he did pick up a win. That was on June the 5th as he evens the count here. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'm going to go fastball inside.
Gutierrez anticipating it. Yanks it foul. The count remains even.
Well, you would think that would be the perfect pitch. Go fastball in after 2 breaking pitches in a row. That you won't be looking fastball in, but he was quick.
Urban has gone at least 8 innings the last 2 times out. Mentioned that White Sox game. And prior to that, on July the 3rd against Kansas City, right here at the Big A, went 8 1/3, giving up 4 runs, taking the loss. But it's combined for a 2.75 ERA in those 2 games. So he's picked up the 2 L's as that pitch is outside. It's a full count.
As I recall, in that game against Kansas City late, there was a couple of runners left on base and ended up scoring. So that way you look at the box score of 4 earned runs, doesn't look quite as good, but he threw the ball exceptionally well in that game too.
Three-two, just missed outside. It's a walk. So Seattle gets a man on board. With 2 outs and Jose Lopez coming up. It's the first time they've gotten a man on in the first inning in this series.
Pretty good breaking pitch just off the outside corner. Gutierrez did a nice job of holding off and not swinging at that pitch.
There's Lopez, the third baseman, hitting .240. 38 runs batted in. A guy that has, in his career, been a little bit of a better hitter the second half. Gutierrez goes in the first pitch, and the third down from Mathis, not in time. Gutierrez had a huge jump as he picks up his 12th stolen base of the year.
It's a 19th stolen base against Urban Santana now. See, with that high leg kick, very difficult for a catcher to have any chance at all to throw out a would-be base stealer. Gutierrez getting that 12th stolen base.
Lopez sky went out to center. Torrey dead in his tracks. Makes the catch. And there's a third out. Santana with a strikeout and a walk. We head to the bottom of the first with the Angels coming up just underway here in Anaheim. Starting lineup for the Angels to come into this one with a 50-44 record. 3.5 back of the Texas Rangers. Eric Ibar leading things off, followed by Howie Kendrick. Then Bobby Abreu, the DH. Torrey Hunter at center. Juan Rivera's in right field. He was 3 for 4 last night, including the game-winning home run. Hideki Matsui in left. Mike Napoli at first. Kevin Franzen at third. Jeff Mathis batting ninth and doing the catching against the left-hander Jason Vargas out of Apple Valley, California.
Well, he's definitely a strike throw. Has done a nice job so far this season. 6-4 mark area, just barely over 3. Of course, his fastball, 86 to 89. Great sink action to it. He has a curveball, slider, and a very good changeup. Does a great job against left-handed batters, only hitting 193 against them.
27 years of age, 8th in the American League, and earned run average at 3.09. This is the third time that he's faced the Angels as Ibar swings the first pitch and pops it up. Josh Wilson, the shortstop, is out there battling the sun, and he'll make the catch for the first down. Let's take a look at the defense behind Vargas. Got Langerhans in left, Gutierrez in center, Ichiro's in right. In the infield, Lopez, Josh Wilson, Figgins, and Smoke from third to first. And Rob Johnson behind the plate.
You mentioned Josh Wilson getting a start at shortstop tonight, or today, I should say. Jack Wilson getting majority of the starts here. Very good defensively. Got some pop in the bat also for the Mariners. Big home run against Joe Saunders up there in Seattle early in the season.
Could have made an argument that Josh Wilson probably should have pinch hit for Ryan Langerhans leading off the 9th inning last night. But he did not. He was the right-handed batter off the bench, the only one. Howie fouls that one straight back, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Howie was 0 for 4 yesterday. His batting average of .277, still with 7 home runs, 53 RBIs. As he swings and misses. There's out number 2.
You can see Jason Vargas doesn't waste any time. There's a lot of strikes, changes speeds very well, pitches very good east to west. See that change up there down in the dirt. Howard's excellent with Shohei was able to turn over that change up to get that run in action away from Howie Kendrick to get the swing and miss.
Two quick outs here for Vargas. Here's Bobby Abreu. Bobby takes a strike. It's Alfonso Marquez calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Bobby lining one to left. There's a base hit. Going the opposite way. And puts a man on with 2 outs here in the first for Torrey.
Torrey has a big birthday card in the dugout before the game. Happy birthday number 35. So I was all happy about that, having some fun with their leader of the team. Might as well hit a home run, just for fun. Give yourself a birthday present.
First pitch missing outside. Saw those other notable birthdays, Joe Torre. And Mike Greenwell.
Mike Greenwell.
Former Boston Red Sox.
Did a great job in left field for the Red Sox all those years.
And I do believe probably deserved to be an MVP had it not been won by somebody else who was enhanced.
Is that? Yes, possibly. Should have won that.
No, possibly. No doubt about it. Torrey fouling that pitch off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Rangers leading the Red Sox in the 7th inning. Torrey's had a tough series here against the Seattle Mariners. He was 0 for 4 last night. Hitters count here, and he'll take the fastball in. 3 balls and a strike. Torrey's only hit in the series came in the 6th inning on Friday night. But hopefully that DH spot last night kind of rejuvenates him. He'll have the off day tomorrow as everyone travels to New York to start that road trip. 2 in New York and then 4 in Texas. 3-1 is fouled off to the right. So full count with 2 outs, and that'll get Abreu going with the pitch.
Vargas goes fastball in at 87, fastball sinker away. Almost as if Torre was anticipating the changeup there. More than likely will get one of those off-speed pitches now. 3-2. Here comes the changeup.
And he got him with that off-speed pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Vargas. 1 complete here in Anaheim, and we have no score. It's Irvin Santana. Irvin throwing 19 pitches in the first, walking a man and striking out 1. His 101st punch out of the year. Bradley, Smoke, and Langerhans against Irvin Santana. Milton was 1 for 4 last night as he swings the first pitch and fouls it off. Hitting just .206 with 8 home runs, 28 RBIs.
Well, the first game he swung at the first pitch 3 consecutive at bats. His next game he started, took a lot of pitches first pitch. Tonight swinging away on that slider.
Fastball away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Is the approach different then as a starting pitcher? Bradley fouls this one off, and it's 1-2.
The only thing I guess you can think of is the fact is certain pitchers have a tendency to throw fastball first pitch, so he's going to gear up to that. Because he's definitely, we've talked about it a number of times, how patient he is. But the reality is he was thinking fastball there, and he got a slider from Irvin.
That one rolled into the dugout.
Plus good numbers against him in his career.
May have gotten a piece of Russell the Muscle.
You're on fire early on, Victor.
Here's the 1-2. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bradley takes inside. Well, that pitch didn't miss by much. Full count now. Sky down the left field line. Long run for everybody, including Matsui, and Hideki won't be able to get there.
Well, that's a situation because he's playing pretty deep in left field. The knees are the way they used to be for Matsui. Unable to cover enough ground to be able to make that play.
A valiant effort. The at-bat continues. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bradley. And he'll take that pitch inside for a walk. Second walk issued by Santana. Hey, folks, get ready to bring the Rally Monkey home. It's Rally Monkey Soap Dispenser Night on Saturday, July 31st. Is free to all kids 2 to 18 in attendance, courtesy of Custom Comfort Mattress. Purchase your tickets today at angelsbaseball.com or the Angels Stadium ticket window.
Not too often you see a pitcher make an expression after a pitch was not called on the inside part of the plate there. Irvin was wondering, with Marquez behind the plate, where that pitch was. Marquez pulled that mask off right away and questioned right back to Irvin Santana.
Well, there's been a couple of pitches on the inside part of the plate already in this ball game outside of Milton Bradley's plate appearance that have been borderline. So obviously Marquez not going to give that inside part to the pitcher. In this case, Santana, at least at this point. As Smoke takes a breaking pitch for a strike.
And certainly Irvin's got to keep an eye on Milton Bradley's 6 stolen bases on the season. Again, Irvin has allowed 19 stolen bases against him so far. Vary your time, step off, throw over the first.
Step off, throw over, and they got him. Milton trying to take off early, trying to gauge Santana. The mere fact that he held on to the pitch long enough got Bradley off the base.
And Milton was going to try to steal the base, anticipating the timing of Irvin. Starts to go, and Irvin steps off, makes the throw over there, stumbling enough to be able to get him at first base. Well, we've seen that a number of times in this series alone where base stealers is going before the pitch is even delivered.
Oh, and 2 the count on Justin Smoke. Had a big game for the Mariners last night. A triple shy of the cycle as he fouls this one back. The count remains at 0-2. Single, double, home run, his 10th of the year. He's homer now in back-to-back games as a Mariner. Check swing on the breaking pitch did not go. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one rolled foul at the first base line. Smoke was hovering around 200 when this series started. Because of the last 2 games, he's taken his batting average to 217. The key component in that Cliff Lee deal with the Texas Rangers. And he goes down swinging on a breaking pitch in the dirt. Mathis will throw on to Napoli, and there's out number 2.
Boy, that's that nasty slider down and in. You get a left-handed batter to swing at that pitch because that's going to go and hit him almost in the back foot. Sharp late break. See, down and in. They thinking fastball, not even close to the plate, but staying on top of it. X-Mo will show how you get that proper release point. Be able to have that nasty slider down and into a left-handed batter. You get underneath that pitch, that flattens out, and that ball gets crushed.
Langerhans takes a strike, getting to start in left field for the 2nd consecutive day. Michael Saunders, who had gotten to start the first 2 games of the series, jamming his middle and index finger, diving into the bag a couple of nights ago. That's why Langerhans played last night, back in there today. Was 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. Swings through the 1-1 pitch, and it's 1-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes here on Langerhans with 2 outs, 2 punch outs, 2 walks. No hits allowed for Irvin. And he's gone to a full count. Third full count for Santana in this one. So a lot of pitches here in the early going as Langerhans rolls this one foul. 38 pitches now thrown by Irvin.
Well, a good fastball right now in the outside corner will get him. Right around knee level. Establish that slider down and in.
Got him looking. Langerhans knew it. And Santana gets back-to-back strikeouts. Here to the bottom of the second. No score. Rivera to lead things off here against Jason Vargas, who had 2 punch outs and 1 hit allowed in the first inning. It'll be Rivera, Matsui, and Napoli against the left-hander. He's had good numbers in his career, a brief career, against the Angels. 2-0 mark and a 2.82 ERA. And now has a total of 10 innings of work here at the Big A. 1-0 and an ERA of just over 4.
It was a great job as far as pitching inside, changing speed on the outside part of the plate. Well, the good sign there is Juan Rivera is starting to swing the bat consistently here in the second half. 6 for 11 in this series. They need him. Need the offense.
Strike on the outside corner. 1-2 now. Juan with a big game yesterday, 3 for 4, single double and a home run. His 11th of the year and his first here at the Big A since April the 11th. Fouls that one straight back. This is what he did last night against Seattle. Clean single to left field. There's the double down the line. And of course, that big home run late. The game winner.
Some serious distance.
Hughes outward foul. There's that off-speed pitch. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Another 1-2. Takes that one, tracking it well, so the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You can see the pattern for Vargas is going to try to show in. And the majority of his pitches are going to be on the outside part of the plate, whether it be the fastball or back it up with the changeup or even a breaking pitch.
Lays off of that one, full count. Godzilla hanging out, taking a couple of practice swings. Been in hibernation, though. Need to come out and play. That's popped up on the first base side. Long run for everybody. And Justin Smokin from the dugout makes the catch. And Juan smacks his bat up the third base line. Will pick it up. There's down number 1.
Sometimes we see a hitter do that, they feel they missed the pitch they should have drove.
There's Matsui getting the start in left field. 252 on the season, 10 home runs, 47 RBIs, but mired in a slump. 4 for his last 25. And overall hitting .205 in the month of July. And he takes a fastball in for strike one.
Got 2 home runs in his career against Vargas and 5 at bats. Vargas very good against left-handed batters generally.
Lays off of that one, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm going to have to ask Matsui, perhaps on the plane tomorrow, doesn't it look like he's got a brand new bat every single AB? That is the cleanest looking piece of lumber I've seen. Every single AB as he rolls this with the smoke. No longer clean since he dropped it on the dirt.
It is a good observation. You're right. But most batters, when they're swinging well and they haven't broken that bat, they're going to take it up there no matter what. It's like an infielder's glove. You can have almost a hole through there. They're not going to change that glove no matter what.
Two quick outs here for Vargas. Here's Napoli. He homered as well yesterday. 2 for 4 overall, picking up his 15th home run of the year. And he drives one to deep left field. Langer hands back at the wall. Gone! Big fly for Mike Napoli, and the Angels take a 1-0 lead.
Boy, you saw that swing last night when he went to center field. That generally tells you that Mike Napoli is going to get hot again. Well, he certainly has another great swinger. This time he turns on it and hits it over that 387 sign in left center field.
And now the team leader in home runs. I'm sure he won't say anything to the birthday boy. Don't want to burst his bubble on his special day. And Franza puts a charge into this one. Gutierrez is back at the wall. And Kevin, you got to stop hitting him to straightaway center field. That's a long way to go. But Mike Napoli, doesn't matter with 2 outs. Picks up his 16th home run of the season after 2 complete. Angels have a 1-0 lead. Home run off Jason Vargas. Near the third, Santana will face 8, 9, and 1. Johnson, Wilson, and Ichiro. Irvin with 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He'll take a fastball away. Rob Johnson got the start Thursday and Friday nights. Comes in batting 204 with a couple of home runs and 13 runs batted in. He was 1 for 3 on Thursday, 0 for 3 on Friday as he loops one in the air down the right field line. Rivera got a pretty good jump on it to his left and will track it down and make the catch. And there's out number 1. Hey, folks, sign up today for the 2010 Junior Angels Kids Club presented by Fox Sports West. For just $18, members receive 2 free game ticket vouchers, first in line for Kids Run the Bases, and an exclusive Junior Angels white or pink mesh jersey. Log on to angelsbaseball.com/Junior Angels. Matter of fact, kids get to run the bases after the game today. Oh, what a great turnout, too, for photo day.
That was pretty cool. There was a lot of people on the field.
Good to see all the guys come out, coaching staff, full uni, taking pictures as Josh Wilson takes a strike. Wilson pops this one up. Franzen, the glasses on and making the catch in foul territory. There's out number 2. I'm surprised someone of your status, of your ilk, if you will, wasn't invited down on the field to partake in photo day.
Yeah, I'm sure that was the first thing everyone was asking about.
I was.
Well, there I was. I was in the background. You just didn't see me, Victor.
I think Soch was looking for you, too.
I'm sure he was. That was always my favorite day, photo day, when I was a player.
That's a great opportunity for fans. Just hang out, take pictures. Guys are just players are just chilling out. It's almost like a spring training interaction.
Because you can talk to the fans there, right up and close and personal. It is a lot of fun when you get down there because you always have some interesting questions for you when you're on the field. Especially if you had a real good game the night before. It's a lot of fun.
Or conversely, if you had a very poor game the night before.
They'll say, how did you hold that slider that Canseco hit about 450 feet against you?
Ichiro bouncing one up the middle. Ibar and snaps it through the first battle. Eric Ibar. Terrific play to end the inning. Gotta like it.
What great range. Gets up, makes a strong throw to get Ichiro, who's flying down the line by half a step.
Eric Ibar is second up here in the third inning, but what a job he did to get Ichiro to finish the top of the inning.
First of all, that baseball was hit hard. Then to be able to glove it, get up all in one motion, and make that strong throw to get Ichiro was just not many people in this game can make that play outside of Eric Ibar. Ichiro had to be thinking he had a hit there. Hit it well, hit it up the middle with his speed. Didn't think Ibar would have a chance to throw him out.
Mathis takes a strike. At a season high 3-hit game on Thursday. Overall hitting .250 with a couple of home runs. 9 runs batted in. Swings on that on-speed pitch is in the hole. The no balls, 2 strikes. Jason Vargas, for his part, even though he gave up the home run to Mike Napoli, he's throwing a lot of strikes. 20 of the 28 pitches have been in the strike zone. He's thrown first pitch strikes to 8 of the first 9 batters. That one just missed outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think it looks like the approach against Vargas is going to have to look away and react inside like Napoli was able to do so to hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, there's that on-speed pitch. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Vargas. All swinging. And it spins the lineup back to the top now to Eric Ibar. Ibar's 0 for 1. He popped out in the first. Starting to catch fire. Apparently had a conversation with Willie. And you know, when you have conversations with your bro, sometimes you blow off the majority of stuff, but there's that one little nugget that you can take from it and say, all right, I can apply this. And apparently a little conversation with Willie Ibar that said, all right, take your pitches when you need to take it, but when you see the one you like, let it fly.
Well, you know, Willie Ibar loves that fastball. He's probably telling him, hey, get yourself in a fastball count, or even if that first pitch is a fastball, attack it. Because you don't want to swing at a pitcher's pitch, whether it be a curveball or slider or split finger fastball out of the zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And prior to getting hurt on that double play attempt, Casey McGee slid into him. He was starting to get hot, obviously missed a little bit of time. This one's popped up in the first base line. Smoke will make the catch, round number 2. But since coming back, he's just kind of maintained.
I think the reality is whether he's hitting right hand or left handed, it's the approach of the fastball on the outside part of the plate, hit it the other way, something on the inside part, turn on it. He's been successful with that. You know, I've talked to Mickey, and you have too, Victor, a number of times. It's all about getting yourself in a position to get a pitch that you feel comfortable hitting. And most hitters like the fastball. Even though it's still the number 1 pitch as far as the pitcher's side is locating the fastball, you want to see the fastball and drive it.
Howie takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was a strikeout victim in the first, so he's 0 for 1. And again, Vargas ahead of the count. And he got him. 4 strikeouts now for Vargas. We are through 3 innings here at the Big A with the Angels leading it by the score of 1-0. I want to remind you to sign up today for the Angels and Scholar Shares Rally Readers. Take part in one of 3 Reading on the Green days when you can read your favorite books on the field here at the Big A and win a chance for 2 free Angels tickets to a select game. The first date is Wednesday, July 21st. Space is limited, so sign up right now at angelsbaseball.com/rally readers.
When are we going to do that, Victor? What do you think?
Obviously, we're not out on the road. Unless you want to go to Yankee Stadium and throw out a blanket.
Yeah, read the book. It'd be great.
What would you like? A little Winnie the Pooh? 1-0. Figgins out toward left center field. And Torrey will make the catch for the first down.
I was thinking Cat in the Hat, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, since we're in New York, you know, Jorge Posada is writing children's books now.
Yep, that should be me.
Gutierrez drew a walk in the first inning, 1-2. Base on balls issued by Santana.
Well, when you look at Irvin's delivery, so free and easy with that arm action, good mechanics over the pitching rubber, works downhill very well when he keeps that good tempo going. Doesn't waste any time in between pitches.
Ahead of the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Tapped over to third, and that's going to go foul as Franzen has it go off his glove.
See, a lot of times you'll hear the terminology for a pitcher, a loose arm, free and easy in his delivery. Some guys have to use their whole body to be able to muscle up and be able to get 93 on the fastball or a slider like that. But Irvin is nice and compact, doesn't waste a lot of energy as far as getting that arm through the proper arm slot to deliver that pitch. Try to sneak a fastball in.
Foul off to the right. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. I did some research, by the way. That book
I knew you were going to say something here.
Jorge Posada's book is called Play Ball.
Play Ball.
Yeah, it's about his childhood as a baseball player.
Any pictures in there for me?
Oh, it's a huge picture book.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Big words.
I knew you were going to do that.
I knew he had a book. I just didn't remember the name of it. I think I'm going to pick it up.
For me? Sure. For the kids.
Here's the 1-2. One and the same. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's no doubt about that one.
Here comes the 2-2. Gutierrez battling Santana here. Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one over to third, backhanded by Franz, and that's a third ball. Strong throw, and it's in time for out number 2.
Anyway, that's been a great pickup from Tony Regan, the GM for the Angels, to be able to get Kevin Franzen. He's been valuable as far as the consistent play for this club here, especially in the second half. Playing some third, playing some first, playing it well, getting some key hits. Very good role player for this club, getting an opportunity to play a lot. Tony Regan's up there today. He's did a great job. That's a great pickup.
Well, he certainly gets asked on a daily basis if the Angels are going to do something, you know, based on his history, whether it was Mark Teixeira a couple of summers ago or Scott Kazmir last year. He gave the perfect answer. You know, the past is the past. You can't gauge every season on what you did previously because those circumstances are completely different than what you're currently facing now. You got to find the right guy if it fits and for the right price.
And do you have enough pieces at the upper level of your minor league system to be able to pull off a deal in which it really could help the club? And that's the question mark right now for Tony. Does he have that piece to be able to bring in that extra hitter, an extra arm?
That is line to left field, a base hit. Matsui to cut it off, does so. And Lopez is on board with a 2-out knock, first hit of the afternoon for Seattle.
Number 15, designated hitter, Milton Bradley.
So it'll bring Milton Bradley to the plate. Bradley drew a walk in the second inning as a leadoff man, and then was picked off by Santana. Bradley right back to Irvin. Little alley-oop over to Mike Napoli for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Angels still up 1-0.
Cars, great offers, little time. The 2010 Honda Clearance is here.
Look at just down the road at the Orange Circle. One very good restaurant by the name of Felix's. Also, you ever been to the food festival they have there? I think it's in September, October. Oh, man.
No, I haven't been there yet.
I know you like the grub. That's
yes, I do.
The place to go right there. Good old Orange Circle. Take a look at our Chase player profile with Bobby Bray stepping to the plate. Only player in Major League history with at least 11 straight years of at least 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases. He's got 10 jacks and 16 bags this year. Bobby had a single in the first inning. She's 1 for 1.
Remember, we had a discussion early in the season. Is he a Hall of Famer? He's so close. Not quite there yet. He needs a few more solid seasons, and then all of a sudden you're going to have his name talked about being a Hall of Famer.
I think the Angels still waiting for this year for Bobby to be the consistent guy that he's capable of being. That's been the biggest knock on him this year, anyways. The fact that we've seen little spurts of it, but just not something where he said, have the team jump on his back, I'm going to carry you for a month. Pulls this one to the right side. Figgins watches it go into the glove, and there's out number 1.
And I think when you look at Bobby and, of course, Juan Rivera, two guys that this offense has been built around, including Torrey Hunter and Matsui. Those guys you need to be able to be RBI producers. and hasn't been there as far as an everyday basis for him yet, but there's still plenty of time. The other role players have done a good job picking up the slack, but you need them to be able to overtake the Rangers and get to the postseason once again.
Torrey swinging at the first pitch, skies one foul. There's no balls on a strike. Hunter a strikeout victim in the first. One of 4 punch-outs for Vargas in this ball game. No walks. Having allowed 2 hits, one of course left the building. That was Mike Napoli's home run in the second. Takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 now.
Well, again, staying away. Good fastball, good changeup. Throws the backdoor curveball. Shows in. He's going back inside here. You got a chance to react. Still think you look away on him. Still, he's not overpowering enough to get it by you on a consistent basis inside. Look away and drive it.
Toward the middle, Josh Wilson with a terrific diving play. Torrey legs it out for an infield base hit. Boy, Wilson almost made a spectacular play, just like Ibar did on Ichiro.
Didn't think he had a chance of making this play. It's in the glove, but Torrey Hunter senses that base hit gets down the line quick enough to be able to beat that out. But a lot of range for Wilson. Pretty good throw, too, from the knees. But Torrey beats it out. Good glove transfer. Just not able to get Torrey Hunter down the line.
Career hit number 1,600 for Torrey. Coming on his 35th birthday. There's Juan Rivera, who popped out at foul territory his first time up. Nope, they called a balk. So no pitch on Rivera, and man in scoring position.
Tim Cheetah down there at first base. The umpire saw the foot not crossing the rubber.
Maybe didn't come set.
Discernible stop.
Rivera fouling off the first pitch, and it's no balls and a strike.
Well, remember a few years ago, they were really into calling that, where the pitcher had to come to a complete stop before delivering the baseball. Then that kind of went away. But now you see the speed game back in baseball, a number of stolen bases. The pitchers are going back to that without the discernible stop. The old saying is that if the balk would be called.
On the corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Juan didn't like the call. Oh, 2. Got him on the off speed. 2 outs.
Number 55.
Another off-speed pitch, change-up, down and away. Perfect location for Vargas. We talked about Joe Saunders and his ability to be able to throw the sinking fastball and backing up with the change-up. Vargas does it very, very well.
Well, he hasn't deviated from his game plan. He staying away, showing the occasional fastball in. That's who he breaks his bat and rolls it over to second. Guess what? He'll have a new piece of lumber the next time he comes to the plate. 4 in the books here at the Big A. Angels still leading 1-0. gorgeous day for baseball here as the Angels looking for the 4-game sweep here of the Seattle Mariners. Halos have had 4 sweeps in 2009. Toronto, Oakland, Seattle, and the Dodgers. The last 4-game sweep of any team for the Angels, September 11th through the 14th against the Seattle Mariners. That one is ripped into Mike Napoli, jumping up and robbing Justin Smoke of extra bases. There's out number 1.
What a great job Mike Napoli has done at first base. For not having a lot of experience in that position, especially at the big league level. Showing he can get up there and make a play, showing some very good range, very aggressive too for a first baseman as far as he wants every ground ball or anything hit to that side of the field. He's going to make the play and hope that the pitcher's there at first base to cover for the out.
Langerhans takes a strike. But if you're the Mariners at the very least, and perhaps things may be going poorly right now as a ball club, you got to be excited that the guy that you got in return for Cliff Lee starting to swing the bat a little bit as Langerhans loops one down the right field line. It is hooking and it is foul.
Especially when you get a home run from the left side and then the right side in a series like he has. Definitely has a ton of talent. And he's young and he's going to keep developing.
Oh, 2 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, 0-2 through the slider in the dirt. Now he can go ahead with that fastball once again. We're going to go with fastball in the outside corner.
And he's not been able to locate that fastball today on the outside part of the plate to left-handed batters.
And he has him set up perfectly to get him out, too. He's just getting underneath that, riding it up and high and elevated out of the zone. Going back there, see if he gets better mechanics. Again, you can see that elbow dropping just enough that elevates that pitch.
(3-2) and he lost him. Got ahead 0-2 and ends up walking him. 3rd walk for Santana. They go with the 3 strikeouts. Puts a man on. Rob Johnson coming out. Hey, you go to work 5 days a week, smirk at the camera, pull pranks on Dwight. That's not your office. That's the office. The office weeknights at 7:30 right here on My 13. It's kind of a snarky thing to do.
What a great word that is, snarky.
First pitch of Rob Johnson is taken up and in. Looked like Johnson squared up the butt, pulled it back in time. So it's 1 ball, no strikes.
What does snarky mean, Victor?
I have no idea. It's used quite a bit, though, in publishing, as I understand. Throw over and diving back in is Langerhans. Rob Johnson 0 for 1, hit a fly ball to right in his first AB. I was just thinking about a trip to New York coming up. Didn't it seem like that first trip was last year?
I'm going to say it's our first trip into Yankee Stadium.
Unbelievable.
Well, remember Matsui got his World Series ring that day? That seemed like that was at least a year and a half ago.
Langerhans goes. The pitch is up high. The throw down for Mathis is upstairs. Langerhans picks up a stolen base. It's 4th of the year.
Another pretty good jump, too. Urban's with that high leg kick. And that pitch was up in the strike zone. Also, not a bad pitch generally to be able to throw, but he had such a good jump. No chance for Mathis to throw him out.
6 straight balls thrown by Santana. He's fallen behind on Johnson at 2-0. And that is line to left, a base hit. Matsui fires it back in, and Franzen cuts it off. And the Mariners have runners at first and third here, and Josh Wilson coming up.
That's the thing, too. Urban had Langerhans down 0-2. Tried to make the perfect pitch. He hasn't had a lot of at-bats in the season, not hitting particularly well either. You want to go after your best stuff early, right away, finish them off. Instead, fell behind, walked down. You're in a situation after that stolen base, first and third with one out, hoping to get a double play.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, you saw that last night with Joe Saunders, the team that has struggled virtually last in every category offensively, was pitching from behind quite a bit. And that's when the Mariners started to swing the bats and get on the board.
Because you put yourself in a situation where they're comfortable thinking fastball. Because if you're a hitter going against Urban Santana with that slider that he possesses, you're hoping to get a fastball, but you don't know if you're going to get it or not. But if you're behind in the count like Urban was 2-0 or 3-1, you're going to get the fastball. You have a better chance of squaring up the baseball.
One-0 pitch. Wilson swings that pitch to the dirt. Coming home on it is Langerhans, and safe at the plate. We're tied at 1. Wilson, or pardon me, Johnson ends up at second base on that wild pitch.
Well, that was a lot closer than they anticipated also. Mathis bounced very quickly on that baseball. Made a strong throw to Urban at the plate. Langerhans barely got his foot in there before the tag was applied. Overthrown slider. Gets away from Mathis, but strong throw. Boy, that was a close play.
I'm very surprised at Jeff trying to backhand that pitch in the dirt, especially with a man at third base.
Because you never know with the spin of a breaking pitch in the dirt. You're better off when you hit your glove turned the other way and smother it.
2 balls and a strike. And we saw something similar to this with Urban Santana in that start he had in Seattle. I believe it was Ken Griffey Jr. ahead of the count at 0-2. Ended up walking Jr. Gave up a base hit to Jr. and that inning kind of blew up on him. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, Josh Wilson and Michael Saunders got their first major league home runs in that inning.
Yeah, I think it might even been the 5th inning there in Seattle. Yeah. Same situation where you can't worry about what the score is or how many runs you've gotten as far as the offensive side. You only have got 1 so far on the home run by Napoli. You got to think of lines. I'm going to throw up a 0 throughout the whole game.
This one out to right. Not very deep. Rivera makes the catch. Johnson stays at second. Strong throw in. It's a little bit offline, but doesn't matter as Johnson remains at second base. And there are 2 outs.
Number 51, right fielder Ichiro Suzuki.
So tied at 1 with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Here's Ichiro. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center field. A terrific play on a ground out. Eric Ibar made the play on. They're going to intentionally walk him to face Sean Figgins. This will be the 4th walk issued by Urban in this ball game. Season high for Urban in walks is 5, and that came in his 2nd start of the year back on April the 13th.
Number 9, second baseman, Sean Figgins.
So here's Figgins, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to center field. A little bit different numbers for this year's leadoff man compared to that of the previous leadoff man who's struggling this year. Fouls the first pitch at the plate. It's 0-1.
And Sean Figgins, such a valuable piece for Mike Socha throughout all the years of success here with the Angels. Getting on base, stealing bags, scoring runs. He has to be more of a run producer in this number 2 slot in the lineup. The Mariners isn't the same type of player right now.
The 0-1. That's rolled over to second. Kendrick's got it. There's out number 3, but the Mariners tie things up on a wild pitch. Into the bottom of the 5th. We're knotted at 1. To lead things off here, he has been swinging a bat last night, picking up his 15th home run. And then today in the second inning off Jason Vargas, his 16th home run.
Center field, left center field. Talk about a guy that you need to be able to carry a ball club offensively, and Mike Napoli's that type of hitter when he gets hot.
The RBI for Napoli is 39th of the year. As he takes a breaking pitch in for a strike. Facing a guy that's been pretty much locked in, with the only exception being the mistake he made to Napoli. Vargas, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed, 2 singles and a home run. Fouls this one off to the right.
Boy, 15 of 16 batters, the first pitch strike. Again, gives him an opportunity to expand the strike zone. He generally is going to go away first pitch. He goes a little further away, shows in, and goes back out away.
This one rolled over to short. Wilson has it. Retires Napoli for the first out here in the 5th inning. Mentioned this is the 3rd start for Vargas. He got to start May 9th, took the loss, so it's an 8-1 victory by the Angels. Giving up 5 runs in 6 2/3, but then bounced back the next time. Grew up in Apple Valley, California. Went to LSU, then transferred over to Cypress College, and on to Long Beach State. Franzen takes outside for ball 1.
From that angle, you can see how he throws across his body. Very difficult for a hitter to be able to pick up the pitch out of his hand.
Two balls, no strikes.
Perfect view of throwing across the body here. Keeps that front shoulder tucked in. Landing foot across the body. Hides the ball very well. Again, not overpowering, but spots the fastball. Great changeup. Slider and curveball effective also.
3 balls and a strike. Kevin put a charge into 1 in the 2nd inning, but it was tracked down by Gutierrez in center as he draws the walk here. First base on balls. issued by Jason Vargas, and it comes with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Hey, folks, groups of 25 or more can enjoy an exciting night of Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. Be part of the fan experience that was voted #1 in all of sports. Book your group outing today by calling 888-796-HALO or by visiting angelsbaseball.com/groups. Here's Jeff Mathis, who struck out in the 3rd. Takes one a little bit high for ball 1. Vargas all of a sudden just a little bit off, enough off where he's missing the strike zone. Rob Johnson will go out and pay a visit. 2 balls and no strikes on Jeff.
I noticed a couple things the last 2 deliveries by Vargas. He's been landing straight up and not following through. You want to get over that front leg and deliver the pitch. He's shortening up his mechanics, almost like a golfer when he goes to his drive, stops when he gets to the top instead of following all the way through. You're not going to be as consistent.
Mathis fouling this one off to the right, staying away from him, so it's 2 balls and a strike.
Could be a hit and run count here for Jeff Mathis. Franzen runs pretty well at first base.
Two one. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. Got the top of the order, and Eric Ibar on deck. Full count now. Vargas has been fairly economical. Having thrown just 64 pitches, 42 for strikes. Three-two is Sky down the right field line. Ichiro comes charging in, still coming on. He'll track this one down. 2 outs.
Well, again, with that swing with Jeff Mathis, he was kind of still looking in the inner half. See Vargas staying away, so you got to look, keep your front hip locked in enough to be able to drive the ball hard to right field. See how the hip opened up for him? He's got to stay back longer and think right field with that swing because Vargas is staying away with a changeup and his fastball. Trust that your hands are quick enough to turn on the pitch on the inner half.
Here's Ibar. Hitless in this one, a couple of pop-ups as he fouls off the first pitch. And Ibar out toward left field. Langerhans tracking this one down. He'll make the catch on the warning track for the 3rd out of the inning. We are through 5 here in Anaheim. We are still tied at 1. Matters, and by Howard's, official superstores of Angels baseball. Tied at 1 here at the Big A in the top of the 6th inning. Folks riding the roller coaster there at Santa Monica Pier. Want to remind you that the next Wells Fargo Big Bang Friday takes place July 30th as the Angels take on the Rangers. Come out to the Big A for an exciting matchup of the American League West top 2 teams and stay for that post-game fireworks. Purchase your tickets today at angelsbaseball.com.
Santa Monica Pier is pretty fun. Get on that roller coaster, that Ferris wheel. Not a big fan of heights. But do what you have to do for the kids.
No balls and a strike. No wonder you felt comfortable behind the plate the other night, broadcasting at sea level.
Sea level, it was perfect.
This one skied toward left center field. Torrey Hunter, Hideki Matsui. It's Matsui making the catch, and there's out number 1. That's how we start the 6th inning. The Angels getting their run off the bat of Mike Napoli, his 16th home run. That came in the 2nd. And then Irvin Santana got into a little bit of trouble in the 5th inning. Issuing the walk to Langerhans, stole a base. Went to 3rd on a base hit by Rob Johnson, then scored on the wild pitch to tie things up. Jose Lopez had a base hit in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 afternoon as he takes a strike. Rangers, by the way, did beat the Boston Red Sox, taking 3 of 4 from Boston. This one is shot foul, wide of the bag at first. So the Angels, of course, need a win to remain 3.5 back. Halos have the off day tomorrow, the travel day to New York, while Texas goes on to Detroit. Take on the Tigers for 3. Angels will play the Yankees for 2 Tuesday and Wednesday, and then both teams will meet up in Arlington beginning on Thursday. I believe it's Cliff Lee getting the start on Thursday for Texas.
That's when you got to get that offense, continue to swing the bat. For the Angels, when you got the Yankees, you got Texas, you come home against Boston. Good pitch, good slider there for Irvin. And of course, Texas coming into town also.
Number 15,
Into those 2 games in New York. Tuesday and Wednesday. It'll be Phil Hughes and Kazmir on Tuesday. Vasquez and Pinheiro Wednesday. The 4-game set against the Rangers. Red Sox and Rangers in the next homestand. Off day sandwiched in between the Red Sox Rangers series.
And more likely the Red Sox will be starting to get healthy at that point. So many key guys out for the Rangers. Pick the right time to go into Fenway Park. Pedroia, Victor Martinez, a number of their guys out.
One ball, 1 strike on Milton Bradley, who has walked and hit a bouncer back to Irvin in the 4th. Two and 1 now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bradley fouling now and off the mask of Mathis. Just looking at the standings. You hear the pundits and the would-be experts talk about the American League West and handing the crown over to Texas with the acquisition of Cliff Lee, saying that this team struggling as Bradley goes down swinging. The Angels with 50 wins, just one of 11 teams in baseball with 50 or more wins. Figuring out a way to do it. As Irvin Santana gets through the 6th inning with a 1-2-3 frame. We're still tied at 1. Sixth inning. Angels setting up 2, 3, and 4. Kendrick, Abreu, and Hunter here. Here's Jason Vargas.
Boy, Howie's had a tough time against Vargas so far in his 2 at-bats, 2 punch-outs on change-ups down and away.
Howie swinging at the first pitch and fouling it off to the right. He's 0 for 2. Vargas has gotten him twice for punch-outs, 2 of his 5 strikeouts. And Howie drills one out towards center field, chasing Gutierrez back, still going back at the wall. It's off the wall. Ricochets back toward right center field. Howie all the way to third, easily with a stand-up triple.
And then now the second triple of the season for Howie, straight away center field. Finally had a good swing against Vargas. That's a tough one so far. Even that first pitch was laid on and fouled it back. This time a fastball up, middle part of the plate. Howie went right with it to center field. Got away from Gutierrez, but backing up was Ichiro. Otherwise, that's going to be an inside the park home run. That's how he cruises into third base for his second triple of the season.
Just the 7th hit by the Angels this year. Here's Bobby Abreu with the infield in. Swings the first pitch and rolls a foul. Bobby had a single to left in the first inning, grounded out to Figgins in the 4th. The triples have been few and far between for this ball club. Ibar has 2 of them, both coming from the left side of the plate. 0-1 pitch. Lays off the breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Conversely, opponents have hit 20 triples against the Angels.
In this ballpark here, a big ballpark like it is at the Big A, you would think there'd be more triples hit by the Angels. But a different club, built around more of the power for the home run. With 93 home runs on the season for the Angels.
1-1. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. With the infield in, the outfield for Seattle pretty much straight away at normal depth. One-two pitch. Bobby rolls this one over to Justin Smoke. Looks back Kendrick, take it himself for out number 1.
For his first at bat, Bobby went the other way with the pitch. This time rolled over on that pitch on the outer half. In an RBI situation, now the RBI leader coming up here in Torrey Hunter needs to at least get that fly ball to get the run across.
Torrey fouls off the first pitch. Had a base hit his last time up in the 4th inning, up the middle. Infield variety. Josh Wilson made a nice play on it, going to his left, but just could not throw out Torrey. Overall, 1 for 2, a strikeout victim in the first. Here's Howie Kendrick with the leadoff triple, standing at third base. That is lined right to Wilson. Kendrick is going to get doubled up. That will end the 6th inning. Not sure what Howie was doing. There's going on contact, and there's stopping on a line drive. 6 complete. We're tied at 1.
baseman Justin Smoke.
Mark Kubicek, glad you could join us here on My 13. Justin Smoke, Brian Langerhans, and Rob Johnson to face Urban Santana. Through 95 pitches thus far, 56 for strikes. And delivers yet another one. Make that 57 strikes. Urban with 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. One was intentional to Ichiro in the 5th. Smoke is 0 for 2, lining out hard to Mike Napoli his last time up, and that one's ripped foul. Justin Smoke starting to take some very comfortable swings to the plate. He's in the hole with no balls, 2 strikes.
And generally, when you see a guy turn on a fastball like that, you're right. He's not going to move his feet. He's going to stay in position to be able to drive the baseball. Now this is the one you have to go up in the strike zone.
The 1-2. Breaking ball got up. Down goes Smoke. And there is out number 1.
Very good sequence of pitches there. If that high elevated fastball through a curveball. It's a big thing for Urban Santana. Get on top of that pitch. Downward action to 12-6 variety. Gets him out in front.
Langerhans with a strikeout and a walk. He's the guy that came around to score on the wild pitch to tie this ball game up at a run apiece. That happened in the 5th. That went off the end of the bat, perhaps breaking the bat. Nope, guess not.
Urban now 101 pitches, still throwing the ball well. Urban's a guy that can give you 115 to 125 pitches and still be effective.
Urban falling behind at 2 balls and a strike. Langerhans in his 2nd season with the Mariners at .235 last year in 38 games. As he skies one to right, Rivera is there. 2 outs.
Number 32, catcher Rob Johnson.
So Urban trying to get through the 7th inning, having thrown 103 pitches thus far, facing Rob Johnson, who's 1 for 2, had a base hit in the 5th. One of 2 hits allowed by Urban in this game. That's it. The other a base hit by Jose Lopez with 2 outs in the 4th. Good slider there, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that was a perfect slider. Late action, not a lot of break to it, just enough to get him out in front, coming right back at that same pitch.
Check swing, did not go. Here's the 1-2. Fastball fouled back over our heads. And misplayed by somebody above us.
Well, after that fastball, more than likely come right back with that slider now. See if we get a swing and miss. .493 on the outside corner. That was a pretty good spot.
Much tighter zone for Marquez today in the first couple of games as Johnson goes down swinging. The ball's out in front of the plate. Mathis can't find it, and the inning continues. Goes down as a strikeout. Wild pitch.
Well, that's another nasty slider. This time Mathis did a good job as far as turning his glove the right way, keeping it in front. And the communication was a little bit tardy for Urban Santana to tell him where it's at as a pitcher. As soon as that ball's in the dirt, you got to point and say where at. I mean, if you say right, left, he don't know because there's a different direction for the catcher. Say in front of the plate, and that'll give a better idea for the catcher to make that play.
There's Josh Wilson swinging at the first pitch and driving one toward the corner. Long run for Rivera, and this one lands in the seats. Boy, off the bat, looked like possible trouble heading into that corner. Instead, it's no ball to a strike on Wilson, who's 0 for 2. He's popped out to third and hit a fly ball to right. Urban Santana's allowed just 5 hits over his last 14 and 2/3 innings. It's the White Sox now against the Mariners combined. As Wilson swings and misses on that off speed. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
This is the guy you want to get. You got Ichiro on deck. Got a chance to expand the strike zone. 0-2. See if you get that swing and miss on that slider off the plate.
Francisco Rodriguez up and loosening. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt. Mathis finds this one, but not far enough for Johnson to advance. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kind of a long look in for Urban. There goes Johnson. The 1-2 is fouled straight back.
Well, he had a pretty good swing at that fastball, too. It wasn't inside where Jeff Mathis wanted it. And also, the Mariners anticipating a slider from Urban Santana had Rob Johnson going. Boy, he had a great swing at that fastball.
And for as good as he's been, and we've talked about it earlier in the game, location with the fastball has not been that good. Saving grace has been the slider, the curveball.
On fastball on the outside corner this time around.
1-2 again. Fastball high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, at 2-2, you still have options. Now at 114 pitches, I like to throw that 2-2 slider in this spot. Now, Urban's got a very good one, a good opportunity to be able to get through this inning. I'm going to throw a pickoff throw over to first base beforehand.
That's Luke to left. Here comes Matsui. Comes charging in. Pulls up. Has it fall in front of him. So the inning continues for Ichiro.
Well, just off the end of the bat. Wilson, who's had some good numbers against Urban, coming into the game, 12 at bats, 6 hits, including 1 home run. Now 1 for 3 in this game.
Ichiro's hit a fly ball to center. He has grounded to short, been intentionally walked. So an 0 for 2 day. With Figgins on deck. Missing with that fastball in. Back up the middle. Santana's got it. Ichiro retired for the 4th time in this game. We've got 7 complete. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. The Angels have Rivera, Matsui, Napoli coming up in a 1-1 tie. Let's take a look at our Jack in the Box game summary. Jason Vargas has started for Seattle 6 innings, 1 earned run, while Irvin Santana's gone 7 with 1 earned run. Mike Napoli hit a home run for the 2nd straight game. He now has 16 on the year. And the Angels have 8 straight victories over the Mariners, tying for the most ever as far as the club record is concerned, looking for their first 4-game sweep of any team since September of 2008. Hey, the Red Sox coming to the Big A for an exciting 3-game set that begins on Monday, July 26th. This will be the only visit that Boston makes to the Big A this year. Purchase your tickets today at angelsbaseball.com or the Angel Stadium ticket windows. Matter of fact, that series has 2 night games and then a day game. I believe it's 12:35 start on that Wednesday afternoon, which would be on July 28th. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Juan Rivera, Hideki Matsui, and Mike Napoli to face Jason Vargas as everyone gets pumped up with Buttercup.
Buttercup is the key. 7th inning, fans get all crazy. Bring home the runs and the victory. I know you're up here dancing victory to that song. You just love it. I mean, it's unbelievable. Immediately you're jumping up and down.
Well, as we pointed out, they're trying to complete this 4-game sweep of the Mariners. Tomorrow's an off day, a travel day to New York. Then you've got a matchup on Tuesday night and the Bronx. It'll be Philly Hughes, who's having a very good season for the Pinstripers against Scott Kazmir, who has struggled. You see the numbers of his last 4 starts, including that big loss in Oakland. And you've got Javier Vazquez going up against Joel Pinheiro on Wednesday afternoon. It's an afternoon game on Wednesday in New York that traveled down to Texas to start a 4-game series on Thursday.
Remember that game Pinheiro had against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium earlier in the season was outstanding, striking out A-Rod 3 times.
Juan Rivera's 0 for 2, a pop-up and a strikeout. That one's on the corner for a strike. One ball, 1 strike. Vargas having thrown only 77 pitches thus far. And Juan will take a strike on the inside corner. And we've seen this count quite a bit this afternoon for Vargas. 1-2.
Generally, he's going to go right back now with an all-speed pitch on the outer half. Shows that fastball inside for effect and spots it very well inside also.
Rivera goes down looking, doesn't like the call, and there's down number one.
Number 55, left fielder.
And the pitch again on the outer half after that fastball inside. Good job of framing that pitch by Rob Johnson behind the plate. Looked like it was close enough. He had to swing at it.
How was that a strike and not the one that Irvin Santana threw in the top of the inning as Fernando Rodney begins to loosen?
The inconsistent strike zone.
Matsui takes a strike.
And it's not like Irvin was all over the place. Irvin was spotting his fastball and slider very well himself.
Oh, 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Hideki's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs to the right side of the infield.
It's outstanding 21 or 24 batters first pitch strike.
That one rolled foul.
Mark is so effective throwing strikes, they don't have to be overpowering. His best fastball, 88 miles an hour. The slowest pitch is changeup at 74. But pitching inside for effect, outside to get you out. Staying on the outside and go even further off the outside corner has been effective for him.
Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matsui goes down swinging on the off-speed pitch, 2 outs.
Number 44, first baseman, Napoli.
So here comes Mike Napoli with 2 outs and nobody on. The 1-1 tie here in the 7th. One for 2 with that 16th home run coming in the 2nd inning. 1 of 4 hits allowed by Vargas.
I don't think he's going to throw a fastball in the inner half against Mike Napoli this time around, especially with that type of power that he possesses. He's going to try to stay away.
Just nibbling on that outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1.
And if you're a pitcher, you're seeing guys swing at that pitch all day. Why would you change?
Napoli skying one out to left center. Langerhans comes in. He's under it. And the Angels go down in order here in the 7th. We head to the 8th. Still tied at 1 here at the Big A. Apiece. A couple of changes for the Angels. Reggie Willis takes over in left field for Hideki Matsui. And Fernando Rodney is on the mound, taking over for Irvin Santana.
It's pretty effective the last 2 games against Seattle. Fastball's been very good. His changeup has some unbelievable action on it.
Fernando Rodney got into the game last night, went 1 inning, struck out a man. Give up that double to Jose Lopez. Got out of that jam with a man at third base. Tie ball game. Then on Friday night, went 1 inning. Struck out a man and gave up a hit. That was a base hit to Sean Figgins. He'll face Figgins, Gutierrez, and Lopez here in the 8th for Seattle. Figgins 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly ball to center, and a ground out. Shows bunt, takes the changeup down low. A run, 3 hits, 6 left on for the Mariners. A run, 4 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. Closely played ball game all afternoon. As that pitch is outside, and Rodney falls behind it. 2 balls, no strikes. Two and 1. Outfield for the Angels have Torrey Hunter shallow towards left center field, and Reggie Willits shallow and toward the foul line and left. Rivera straight up and right. Franzen still on the grass at third. Overthrown fastball has a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, this is a situation you want to make Sean Figgins swing the bat. Great speed, 24 stolen bases on the season.
The 3-1. He walked him. Leadoff man is on board with a walk.
Number 21.
5th walk allowed in this ballgame. Santana issued 4. 1 was intentional.
Great job, though, by Irvin Santana. Back-to-back games. 15 innings pitched total, 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs.
And now Rodney will have to face Gutierrez, who's walked, grounded to third, and fly to left. An 0 for 2 afternoon. Figgins with 24 stolen bases leading off at first. He's been caught 5 times this year. First pitch to Gutierrez in there for a strike. Good fastball.
Might see a pitch out here during this sequence, too, because Fernando Rodney has allowed 7 stolen bases against. Nobody has been caught yet.
There's 24 bags for Figgins, 7th in the American League. Juan Pierre still the league leader with 33 stolen bases prior to today. 0-1. Jammed him. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Jose Lopez to follow, then Milton Bradley the DH.
The throw over the first base here.
Nice shot, leaning a little bit.
Yeah, to see it indicate to see if he would tip off if he was going to try to steal the base.
got him swinging on a fastball. Down goes Gutierrez. There's out number one.
Well, that was some kind of fastball. Challenged him with a 96-0-2 pitch right by him. Boy, located exactly where Jeff Mathis wanted that pitch. On top of it, 96 on that four-seam fastball. Late swing, punch out.
So a walk and a punch out for Rodney here in the eighth. And here's Jose Lopez. 1 for 3. Lopez not a guy you need to be fine on, especially this year with the struggles he has had. And the guy you want at the plate as far as trying to get him to roll into a double play. 13 times this year. He's the team leader for Seattle in that category. Not something to be proud of. There goes Figgins, and Lopez fouls that one at the plate. Got a piece of Mathis.
But just looking at Sean Figgins' lead, he's got a short lead, then bounces out and tries to go with momentum. If you can just hold the baseball enough or have a quick step off, at that point you can throw over and pick him off.
One ball, one strike. Figgins doesn't go, and Lopez fouls another one at the plate. 1-2 now. Ron Renicky signaling out toward Juan Rivera to come in a little bit in right field. He was playing extremely deep. Quick throw over. Figgins is back.
And a lot of times when the manager gives a catcher that throw over, you want to hold the ball as long as you can before you make your pickoff throw. Otherwise, a good base stealer like a Sean Figgins will read that and get a bigger lead.
1-2, ripped foul down the third base side. Fernando's never been a guy that has worked at a brisk pace. Slowing things down here, very deliberate. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. A couple of fastballs on the inside part of the plate. Lopez turning on him. And this one out toward right. Rivera toward the foul line, makes the grab, 2 outs. A good location. That's where you want to pitch Lopez, considering he's a guy that would like to yank the ball down the left field line, likes that pitch on the inside part of the plate. Never been a guy to really drive the ball out toward right center.
Much slower swing, less bat speed on the pitch on the outer half. He's geared up for that pitch on the inner half and trying to turn on it.
So 2 outs for Milton Bradley with Figgins still at first. Bradley today has walked, hit a comebacker, and struck out. So he's 0 for 2. Fastball missing away. With Bradley to play and the speed of Figgins. Outfield playing a little bit deeper now.
Well, that was pretty close to another pitch. It's crossing the plate in the strike zone.
Well, Marquez has not called that pitch a strike all afternoon. Bradley grounds one. Hard hit off the glove of Franzen. That kind of ate him up a little bit. Figgins will stop at second. Not an easy play for any third baseman. Bradley gets credit for a base hit. So 2 on, 2 outs here for Justin Smoke.
Especially inside out swing. Tough hop, hits the heel of the glove. Fortunate enough to be able to at least knock it down, only allow him to get a single.
Smoke today, a couple of strikeouts and a lineup. So 0 for 3. See Figgins at second, Bradley at first. So good speed on the bases for Seattle as Smoke takes a changeup for a strike.
The field's got to be in position right now. You got to knock down any ground ball. Keep it in front if you have to. Got to force it all the bases in the infield.
That one off his ankle. And even with that protective shin guard getting a piece of him, and it snowballs 2 strikes. Brandon League, whom the Angels faced last night for an inning, getting loose now in the Mariners' pen. Tough decision, too, if you're Don Wakamatsu, considering the job that Jason Vargas has done all afternoon to entrust the bullpen. Take a look at that foul ball off Ash Charleston. Inside part of the shin. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on in a 1-1 tie here in the 8th. Smoke picks a called strike 3 on a fastball. Down he goes. The 3rd time this afternoon he has struck out. We head to the bottom of the 8th here at the Big A. With 8, 9, and 1 coming up, tied at 1.
Where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at sc4dealers.com.
Start the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 1 apiece. Gorgeous side down on the beach. Even prettier side here at the Big A. 38,883 here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Wrapping up this quick 4-game homestand, trying to finish off the sweep of the Seattle Mariners. Angels setting up Franzen, Mathis, and Ibar here against Jason Vargas, who's out for another inning of action. He's only thrown 89 pitches, while having struck out 7 and walked 1. Kevin Franzen drew one of those walks, the only walk, I should say, in the 5th. This guy went out to deep center field. She's 0 for 1. Looking for some base runners here as Vargas gets the call, and count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looks like Kevin Franzen is going to have to drive the ball the other way to get a base hit here.
He's in the hole at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Punching one to the right side, Figgins bobbles it. Franzen will reach. That's an error on Figgins, and the leadoff man is on board.
Definitely a situation where you see Jeff Mathis is going to be asked to square around and lay down that sacrifice bunt to advance Franzen. A mistake by Sean Figgins. Look like he took his eye off the baseball at the very end and unable to pick the baseball to make that throw.
Well, the Mariners, even though they lost by a run last night, committed 3 errors in the game. Rick Adair's going to come out and pay a visit. Figgins has just committed his 10th error of the season, tying him for the team lead with Josh Wilson.
As I recall, didn't Sean Figgins make an error late in the game last time Seattle was in town? It cost them a couple runs. I don't remember which game that was last time that Seattle came into town.
Angels closer, Fuentes up and loosening now. Back-to-back saves for him. Mathis is struck out and fly to right. Lopez, the third baseman, playing in on the grass. Jeff takes upstairs. So you go back to that 6th inning leadoff triple by Howie Kendrick. Brady with ground out, then Torrey Hunter lining out into a double play. Perfect opportunity to capitalize there and try to do so now here in the 8th. Mathis bunts it straight back as the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Situation, if you're a hitter right now, you don't have to have the perfect bunt. Just get that bunt down out in front, preferably make the first baseman field the baseball. Play catch with the bat right now. Just put it in play.
Mathis showing bunt. Here's the 1-1. Tries to jab at it and again fouls it back. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Mathis. See what Churchill decides to do here with the man on and nobody out here in the 8th.
Still think he's going to put that bunt on for Mathis.
There's out number 1.
Number 2, shortstop, Aaron Ibar.
And he turned over that pitch once again on the outer half. He's been so effective on that pitch. 8 strikeouts on the game for Vargas, who's been outstanding.
Here's Ibar with 1 out, 1 on. Eric will take a strike. 8 punch outs for Vargas, tying a season high. Had 8 against the Tampa Bay Rays back on May the 4th. Eric's 0 for 3. All 3 fly ball outs. Last one he hit, though, hit pretty good down to left field, but Langerhans making the catch on the warning track. The 1-1 on the corner, 1-2.
Well, how many times today have you said that, Victor? On the corner, outside corner,
all day. "70 strikes, 30 balls for Vargas at 100 pitches right now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Eric hitting .322 in the month of July. At this point, all you're looking for is a little flare into the outfield, try to get into a first and third situation. And he goes down swinging on the changeup. 2 outs.
Well, the Angels have had their troubles against left-handers that don't throw particularly hard, throw a lot of changeup throughout this entire season. Here's another changeup. What a perfect spot. He may be out of the game here now.
Why? That's the question.
You got to be pretty happy if you're the Angels. He's out of the game.
Howie did triple off Vargas, but you're taking a guy who's been legit all afternoon out of the game. And bringing in the fireballing Brandon League to face Howie Kendrick here with 2 outs in the 8th. We're tied at 1. Hanging out at first base, Brandon Lee comes on in relief of Jason Vargas, who, by the way, has had a career high with strikeouts, 9 with the punch out of Eric Ibar. Interesting situation here. Don Wakamatsu calling on the right-hander League to face Kendrick.
Well, certainly he has a great fastball, 93 to 97 slider, and a split finger fastball. Has done a great job out of the bullpen for the M's, but definitely a situation where I'm surprised.
There's a looping single to right center, base hit. Franzen heading to third. And now you've got a situation where you've got the left hand hitting Abreu to face the right-handed Brandon Lee. I still don't understand the strategy, but the Angels certainly will take it and try to capitalize on it.
And Vargas was so good as far as hitting that outside corner with the fastball, changeup, 9 punch-outs. Really only 2 or 3 baseballs that were hit hard against him the entire game, and it's 7 2/3 innings pitched. Franzen reads that. Going to get into third base easily on that base hit in the right center field by Howie Kendrick.
Seven 2/3, 4 hits, a run. Franzen will get charged to Vargas should he score here in the 8th. 9 strikeouts and a walk. Here's Abreu. First pitch swinging over to short. Goes down number 3. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 left on. We head to the 9th. Here at the Big A, we are still tied at 1. The Angels at angelsbaseball.com. Browse the largest selection of official Angels gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear on the official source at angelsbaseball.com. Brian Fuentes comes on here to pitch the 9th inning in a 1-1 tie. He'll face the bottom third of the order, Langerhans, Johnson, and Josh Wilson.
Much better velocity on the fastball play, too. ERA now below 4. Hitting his spots, 89 to 91 mile an hour fastball. His changeup's been very effective, has his slider.
Well, Fuentes faced the bottom third of the order last night in the 9th inning to pick up his 18th save. Brian throwing just 14 pitches and picking up that save. He actually got ahead of Langerhans, ended up walking him to start off the 9th. Langerhans, the left fielder, has walked, struck out, and hit a fly ball to right. No ball for the strike. One ball, one strike now. Fuentes, as we talked about in the pregame show on Angels Live, as far as his consistency of late, really commanding that fastball. Location's been very good. One pitch is cut on and missed. 1-2. Thus making that pitch, even though it just completed 89, 90, 91 miles an hour, look that much quicker.
And that deceptive arm angle short arms it. The late life up in the zone, very effective for him.
And a 1-2.
I'm just trying to think, where was that at?
Must be the heat.
Well, this is a perfect spot. I mean, that's right in the middle of the plate.
Low?
No.
Doesn't matter. Rings him up. There's out number 1. We say that only because Josh Bard was struck out in the 7th inning in last night's game. Bob Davidson missed a call. In the next pitch, he had a home run to tie things up.
Well, what a perfect spot coming back from a pitch you thought you would get. Didn't get it, but then hit a better spot.
There's Rob Johnson, the catcher, is 1 for 3. Reached on the wild pitch after he struck out in the 7th. This one out toward right. Easy play for Juan Rivera. 2 outs. Well, looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Angels, Torrey Hunter, Juan Rivera, Hideki Matsui. It appears, or pardon me, Reggie Willis, who had come on for Matsui as a defensive replacement a couple of innings ago, take on Brandon League with no action going in the Mariner pen.
A way to celebrate your birthday, though, a win the game walk-off piece for Torrey Hunter, if they get through this inning here.
Wilson's 1 for 3, had a base hit last time up to left. Irvin Santana this afternoon, I should say, 7 innings, 7 punch outs, 4 walks. One was intentional. 1 run earned on 3 hits, while Vargas in 7 2/3 struck out 9. Walked 1, gave up a run on 4 hits, including a home run. 0-1 pitch to Wilson. The breaking ball is down and in. This is the only game still ongoing in the American League. Everything else in the books. A couple of National League games still outstanding. Mets in San Francisco, Arizona and San Diego. Wilson lost one out to left. Reggie Willits is there, makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Fuentes. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Hunter Rivera Willits to take on the Seattle Mariners and try to make it a clean sweep of the M's. Off against Brandon League. He came on in the 8th inning, gave a base hit to Howie Kendrick, and they got Bobby Abreu on 1 pitch to ground out to end the threat. Torres swinging at the first pitch, comes up empty, and it's no balls and a strike. Hunter 1 for 3, and a single in the 4th inning. Lying down into a double play at the end of the 6th inning. Oh, 2 pitch. Breaking pitch inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Action in the Angels bullpen has Kevin Jepson up and loosening. The Mariners also with action in their pen. They've got their left-hander going, Garrett Olson. The 1-2. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Again, missing his drive with that split finger pitch. Full count.
Should be getting the fastball now. 3-2 count. Brandon League certainly has a good fastball, but Torrey's going to gear up for it.
Hard hit over to short. Josh Wilson has it. One away. So here comes Juan Rivera. Hitless this afternoon with a pop-up and a couple of strikeouts. One guy that's very happy that Jason Vargas no longer is in this game. Last time up, went down looking and actually disputed the call with Alfonso Marquez. The first pitch. Cut on and miss. Last night, Rivera picking up his 11th home run of the year. That coming in the 7th inning. Appears to be the game winner. One ball, one strike.
Well, the situation right here now, obviously on the outer half of the plate, Brandon League has been throwing that fastball and slider. Rivera looking for something in the inner half. Gets a split finger again.
Yep. Here's the 1-2. Little defensive swing on a fastball. Looking for that on-speed pitch. Again remains at 1-2. Willet's on deck. Should the inning continue, Mike Napoli would follow.
Comes a split finger fastball once again.
2 outs.
Number 77.
Boy, nasty split finger fastball from Brandon League. Well, a different rotation with a baseball you normally would see out of a fastball, even a breaking pitch. Almost has that same tumbling action as a knuckleball does.
20 combined strikeouts between these two teams today, 10 each. Willis, his first plate appearance, takes a strike. Matsui today in left field went 0 for 3. Reggie out towards left center field. It's playable for Langerhans. He'll put it away. Brandon League, since the Angels down in order here in the 9th. Extra innings here at the Big A. Pretty good matchup today. It's a 1-1 tie. 1-1 tie. Let's take a look at how we got to this 1-1 tie. Mike Napoli back in the second inning, putting the Angels up 1-0 with his 16th home run. Then at the top of the fifth inning, the man at third base, a wild pitch with Ryan Langerhans. That's where we're at right now. That's where we've been.
Certainly a well-pitched game by both sides. Total of 9 hits by the two clubs and 2 runs.
Kevin Jepsen now into work, pitching in his 39th game, 2-1 record, a 4.50 ERA. On the heels of the Brian Fuentes 1-2-3 9th. Brian collecting a strikeout as well. Jepsen will face the top of the order, Ichiro, Figgins, and Gutierrez. Starting off Ichiro with the breaking pitch. Suzuki's 0 for 3. Had a walk in the fifth. No balls, 2 strikes.
He does show that he'll swing at that breaking pitch in the dirt. Kevin Jepsen has that big curveball that can get the swing and miss. He's got to trust Jeff Mathis to be able to block it if it's in the dirt. Come with that breaking pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes. Halos this year in extra innings, 4 and 3. Seattle with a 1-8 record in extra frames. 2-2 now. And in the bottom of the 10th inning, it looks like the Angels will be facing another pretty good arm, and David Archman is up now and playing catch. Mariner bullpen. Foul back, 2 balls, 2 strikes still. Mariner closer.
Another very good fastball he has in a split finger fastball.
Two. Full count.
Well, Ichiro having a pretty good at bat, fell behind 0-2. Fouled off a tough fastball the pitch before that one, but Kevin Jepsen overthrowing his breaking pitch.
Payoff pitch, and he lost it. So the leadoff man is on board, and you got to pay attention with him, and Figgins coming up now. Ichiro with only 1 hit in this series. He's on board for the 2nd time in this game.
A lot of speed here with Sean Figgins at the plate and Ichiro at first base. 22 stolen bases on the season.
Figgins dropping a bunt. Jepsen retires Figgins, and Ichiro advances to second. Kevin gave a glance to second base just in case, but Ichiro had a pretty good jump. So sacrifice works. There's 1 out here with Gutierrez coming up.
Number 21, center fielder.
Also, you got to keep an eye on Ichiro at second base. Vary your looks back there. Keep him close.
Second on this Mariners team with 22 stolen bases. Gutierrez 0 for 3. A walk, a ground down, a fly ball to left, and a strikeout. Fernando Rodney getting him in the 8th inning. Breaking pitches in for a strike. On a ground towards short. Ichiro is going to go to third. Franzen has Ichiro in a little bit of a pickle. Well, it certainly looked like he's running out of the baseline at some point. Somebody's got to make a call. Mathis. And it tags him out. Are you kidding me? The guy was inside on the grass and then decided to run out in the outfield almost. I mean, that's a horrible call. Mike Scioscia's on the warning track, throwing his arms up. Somebody make a call, whether it's Bob Davidson at third or Tim Timmons at second.
I mean, that's automatic, especially when you're running in the grass.
Nobody made a call.
And he almost slid in there, too. Good play, too, by Ibar. Going right to third base. See Ichiro, he's running in the infield grass.
Where's he going here? Wanted to say hi to Reggie Willitson left. Well, you would have seen a blown gasket if Ichiro had been safe at third.
I mean, that was pretty close.
So Gutierrez reaches on the fielder's choice. It's a conventional 6-5-4-2 put out at third.
And as long as Ichiro was in that rundown, how is Gutierrez not at second?
Here's one better. Why is Ichiro trying to advance to third on a routine ground ball to short? We've seen some interesting base running in this series for Seattle.
So those little things, you look at stats, team batting average at the bottom, their fielding percentage at the bottom, and of course we've seen a number of mistakes on the base pass for him in this series alone.
Big hack by Lopez. It's no balls and a strike. Lopez is 1 for 4, had a base hit in the 4th inning. Gutierrez still at first. The bottom of the 10th inning, the Angels have the bottom third of their order. Napoli, Franzen, and Mathis due up. All indications have it that Artsma would be the guy coming in. Still loosening down in the pen. 0-1, Gutierrez goes. The pitch is high. The throw down from Mathis is not in time. Second stolen base of the game for Gutierrez.
Pretty good jump. It looked like he had a shot at him. A little low throw. One hops it, gets the foot underneath the tag.
One pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike. Hitters count at 2 balls and a strike. And that's a broken bat flare out to left field. Gutierrez going to be waved home. Here comes the throw from Reggie Willits. It's up the line. Mariners up 2-1 as the throw to second is not in time. Lopez with his 39th RBI of the year.
When a base hit like that in the left field, there's no chance you're really going to have it to throw at Gutierrez going in. And the high throw allows Lopez to get in the scoring position himself.
Here's Milton Bradley. He takes a fastball for a strike. Bradley's 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the 8th. That was that hot smash that Kevin Franza could not handle. The 0-1. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kevin Jepson came into the game yesterday, gave up that home run to Bard, leading things off in the 7th. That tied the score up, and now they have a walk to Ichiro, sac bunt, a fielder's choice, a stolen base. Now the base hit to Lopez here in the 10th inning. He falls behind on Bradley. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one on the corner, 2-2 now.
He's got to make a quality pitcher to get through the inning, keep it a 1-run deficit. They've had some success against Ardsman before in the past. The Angels have. You see the last 2 games, 1 inning, he's allowed 6 earned runs.
Bradley goes down swinging, and there's out number 3. But the Mariners take the lead for the first time in this one. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Napoli to lead things off against David Ardsma. Jose Lopez putting the M's on top of this second hit of the game. And Don Wakamatsu will turn the ball over to his closer, David Ardsma, who takes over for Brandon League to win an inning and a third of scoreless baseball.
That 0-6 mark, 16 saves and 20 opportunities. Fastball 92 to 97. Slider and a split finger fastball, but has had his troubles we just showed against the Angels in the past.
Napoli, Franz, and Mathis scheduled 3 here in the 10th. Napoli 1 for 3 with a home run in the second. 16th of the year, picking up his 39th RBI. Taking a big rip on that fastball away. And it's no balls and a strike. Ardsma trying to go with that breaking pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Harjma's last time out was against the Yankees on July 11th. Had a 1-2-3 ninth inning. As he misses outside with a breaking pitch. We showed you those numbers in which he has scuffled against the Angels. He had a rough outing on June the 6th here in a non-save situation, giving up 3 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. That fastball's on the corner. It's 2-2. Had a breakout year last year for Seattle. The follow-up season, not as good. Two. Napoli out toward right field. Figgins with a terrific diving play, but can't get it out of his glove. Man, that would have been unbelievable. If he gets the ball out of his glove, Napoli is out number 1 instead. It'll go as an infield base hit.
Well, I think he has a great chance to get him out there. That was unbelievable range. The ball was by him in the outfield grass. As he tries to spin and roll, make the throw, couldn't get it out of his glove.
That ball was behind him. Well, Kevin Franzen steps up now. Kevin, a fly ball to center, a walk, and reached on an error. The throw over to first. Napoli's back. Paul McAnulty's come out to the on-deck circle. He would hit in the catcher's spot, the 9-hole. Franzen dropping a bunt up the first base line. And fortunately, his bat made contact because that thing was up around his face. It's a sac bunt as Napoli gets into scoring position.
Sack and protect. Boy, as a pitcher, that's what you were taught to do, to go up and in, to get and to pop it up. That's a pretty good job of getting that ball down and advancing the base runner.
So McAnulty will pinch hit here for Jeff Mathis, who went 0 for 3. Three for 22, had a multi-hit game the last time out in Oakland. Josh Wilson, the shortstop, trying to keep Napoli close to the base at second base. Lopez off the line at third, trying to cut off the angle over there. There's the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Some pretty good arms in the outfield. Gutierrez and Ichiro. Langerhans with a pretty solid arm to himself, so it's not going to be easy to score on a base hit into the outfield. They need that good secondary lead, and that's why I see Josh Wilson trying to keep him close.
McAnulty losing the handle of the bat on that swing. It's 2 balls and a strike. Now Johnson and Arjma are going to get together on the same page here. Napoli leading things off with an infield single. Franzen sacrificing him over to second base, representing the tying run, down 2-1 here in the 10th. Three and 1.
You get yourself in a perfect fastball count. Harsman, though, with the open base here, you don't want to put the go-ahead run, the potential winning run, I should say, first.
And there's a walk. You'd think you'd get a pinch runner in this situation. Perhaps. Apparently not. Theory being you're going to use Bobby Wilson behind the plate anyways, and Brandon Wood to come in to play third, use him as a pinch runner, move Franzen over to first. But not going to be the case. McAnulty representing the potential winning run is at first. Here's Eric Ibar, who's 0 for 4. 3 fly ball outs and a punch out. First time from the left side in this game for Eric as he takes that fastball up and away.
Ardsman having a tough time commanding this fastball. He's got a good one, but most of his strikeouts are going to be on a split finger fastball. And if he can't get ahead of the count, he can't use that pitch.
There's that breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Outfield pretty much straight up. They haven't shifted around a whole lot. Lopez still off the line. Zybar fouls this one off the left. So a 2 ball, 2 strike count here on Ivar. With Napoli at second, McAnulty at first. And Howie Kendrick on deck. Full count now.
Tried to get that split finger fastball down in his zone, but got underneath that pitch.
I watched him warming up in the bullpen. He bounced several pitches in front of the plate, a couple of them all the way into the rock area, taking the ricochet off the plate, so perhaps a little bit of a struggle. And he was up early, loosening. Here's a 3-2. Ibar checked his swing. No, says Bob Davidson, the third base umpire. And there's out number 2. Went around.
Got fooled on that pitch. Trying to start the head out quicker. But swung on that pitch off the plate, too. Would have loaded the bases with 1 out.
So here's Howie, who is 2 for 4. Triple and a single. He'll take a break to pitch for a strike. One ball, 1 strike. Archman a little erratic, trying to find his location. A jab shot foul up the first base side, and Angels down to the last strike here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 10th, down 2-1. The jeopardy of falling game further back in the division. Texas beating Boston this afternoon. They would fall back to 4.5 should they lose this one. A win would keep them at 3.5 heading into the off day tomorrow. 1-2. He went around, and the Mariners take the finale of this 4-game set by the final of 2-1. Jose Lopez with the game-winning base hit in the top of the 10th of Kevin Jepson, making Brandon League the winner. League picks up his 6th win. Jepson takes the loss, and Arjma picks up his 17th save.
Well, the Angels didn't have a lot of opportunities, but they failed in some situations. But Jason Vargas was so good for him at a rotation. A lot of pitches on the outer half. That changeup fastball combo was very good for him. And, of course, the bullpen for the M's tonight, we showed it earlier, they were very ineffective against the Angels during this 8-game losing streak against the Angels. But today, they had it working.
Jason Vargas and Irvin Santana both had great starts, but both get the no decision to final again. Mariners 2, the Angels 1. Stick around for a complete wrap-up of today's game as Angels Live is coming up next.